I'm very happy to stand in support of my bill, H.R. 2197, the York River Wild and Scenic River Study Act. And I want to start by thanking Mr. DeFazio, Mr. Grijalva, and tonight Mr. Hastings for their support in reporting out this bill out of the committee in September. I also want to thank them and now former Congressperson, now Senator Markey's help in passing this bill last Congress. I very much appreciate their persistence and their willingness to help get this bill passed and into law. I know the people of Maine will appreciate their commitment too. This bill was really proposed by the folks back home, the same people who live and work around the York River and who care deeply about it. This bill would allow organizations working around the York River to partner with the National Park Service to conduct a study that would provide the information that is vital to making smart decisions about the future of the York River and its communities. I have heard from small business owners, community groups, state and local government, local and national land trusts, fishermen, hunters, school representatives, and historical and environmental conservationists. All agree that continuing to benefit from the river depends on recognizing and protecting its important and unique qualities. There are many unique features of the York River and the ecosystems surrounding it, and I'll talk about those in a minute. But I want to start with a little history. The first English settlers came to the York River nearly 400 years ago, but there's archaeological evidence along the shores of European settlers who were here even earlier. And before anyone came from Europe, the Indians named the river Agamenticus, which means little cove beyond the hills. To the local community today, to the economy, and to the wildlife of York River watershed. The river is home to important and rare species, including the Maine endangered box turtle and the threatened harlequin duck. The salt marshes of the York River watershed serve as a nursery ground for nearly 30 species of fish that are vital to the Gulf of Maine ecosystem. And the York River is a place where children are learning in an outdoor classroom. Students from nearby school districts gather data from the river for classes and to inform community decisions about the environment and the economy. But maybe the most important factor is that many of the hardworking people in the state, in this particular part of the state, depend on the York River to support their jobs. The York River is a place where people go to work. Commercial and recreational fishing operations depend on excellent water quality and reliable access to the waterfront. Farmers in the York River watershed grow pumpkins, potatoes, and other produce that help keep Maine communities healthy. People travel to the York River to explore and appreciate its natural character and its incredible history. And while doing so, they invest in the surrounding communities. The work of community groups has already resulted in considerable progress. But the York River needs additional protection, so this vital resource is not overwhelmed by increasing development. In order to move forward to a future that protects the most important aspects of this waterway and the jobs and the communities that depend on it, it is vital to connect these communities with the information they need. That is the goal and hopefully the eventual outcome of this important piece of legislation. My bill is widely supported in Maine, and I look forward to it being favorably considered today. Mr. Speaker, I reserve the balance of my time.